So, that was the relationship between India and Sri Lanka and the political development between 2009 to 20 I already said. Now, coming to the present, the India Sri Lanka issues or India Sri Lanka relations, some issues. India Sri Lanka relations and some issues, the present problems and present issues. Okay. So, one is the one particular issue which we are facing right now is during the Rajpaksha's time, previous Rajpaksha's time, one port in Sri Lanka, that is the Hambantota port. Hambantota port issue, I mean let me just add in Sri Lanka once again here. Okay, it is not there in this, let me just in the map. One second. You see, in Asia, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, yeah. You see Sri Lanka. You can see Hambantota here in south, and this is a Sinhala. This is the Hambantota is the region of Rajpaksha. This is the constituency of Rajpakshas, and in Hambantota, a port, a all-weather port was planned during the what you call Rajpaksha's time, and this port was given to China to build. Okay, China got bagged the contract, and the port was built by Chinese company and it was handed over to Sri Lankan authorities. But the Sri Lankan authority, the port ran into deep economic trouble, and Sri Lanka was not able to pay the investment made by Chinese. And finally, what happened during this the Sirisena's time, during the Sirisena administration's time, they decided to lease this port for 99 years to China. So, they literally handed over, because they were not able to see right from the beginning. One big complaint about the Chinese investment, it is a very costly investment and the repayment conditions were very stringent, and Sri Lanka was not able to repay, and ultimately the Sirisena government decided to hand over this commercial port. It is a commercial port to Chinese for 99 years. But the problem in China is there is hardly any distinction between commerce and military and all, everything is run by the same government. So, what happened is it was a big threat to India's, and it was seen, it was said that many even the Chinese submarines have visited Hambantota. See, in fact, the unwritten understanding in Indian Ocean, and especially in Bay of Bengal and the Arabian Sea region, the Indian Ocean region is, it is a domain of India, and if a foreign military submarines and all, or even foreign military warships visit even Sri Lanka, they will at least inform India. So, without informing India, Chinese submarines were spotted in Hambantota as well as in the Colombo port, which was a shock to India, and India felt it as an offence. It is against our our domain. Okay. So, the one issue between India and Sri Lanka which emerged recently after Hambantota port was constructed and it was leased to Sri Lanka, and this is a this was a India was seen as it is a big offence against our Indian domination in this region. So, that is one issue between India and Sri Lanka. And similarly, when this Sri Lankan the Hambantota port was handed over, it was said that similarly they were constructing an airport in Hambantota, and Sri Lanka promised that this airport will be handed over to India, or rather to balance the India-China relation. Our Sirisena government decided to hand over the international airport in Hambantota to India, which is, and which is not far from the Hambantota port. And but this, there are second thoughts by Sri Lanka. The second issue is, now the present Rajpaksha government is not in favor of handing over this airport to India, not in favor to hand over this airport to India. See, now in fact, to be fair on Rajpaksha, Rajpakshas are not in favor of handing over the port, the seaport to China also. They opposed at that time, even now they are saying they will find a way to get it back. They say national assets cannot be handed over to foreign countries. So, the second issue, and to balance the seaport given to China, an airport was supposed to be handed over to India for Indian companies to operate. Both are not, I mean, at least with China they are already handed over, with India they did not hand over. Now the Rajpaksha government is saying that they will not be handing over to India also. So that is the second issue between India and China, India and Sri Lanka. And the third issue is, there was a, during the previous government's time, right from Manmohan Singh government's time, supposed to be an NTPC, the National Thermal Power Corporation, was supposed to set up a thermal power station at a place called Sampur Thermal Power Station in the eastern province of Sri Lanka, but due to environmental issues, this project is almost dropped, because it was an investment by India in that country in the eastern province, that is not happening. So there are some issues, the commercial issues, which are linked to the strategic issue, which is still a bone of contention between India and Sri Lanka. And a fourth problem is the in the between India and Sri Lanka, between 2015 to 19, there was a balance. There is a balance in relationship, I already told, between, they balance the relationship between India and China quite effectively. But the Chinese, the issue is always the Chinese funds, because of the, Sri Lanka is a part of the Belt and Road Initiative. Sri Lanka is a part of the Belt and Road Initiative, and the Chinese funds are still flowing. And China has invested, Hambantota, I already said, they also invested in this Colombo port project, Colombo Port City. Colombo Port City is a $2 billion infrastructure project, and as part of the MSR or rather the BRI, China is willing to invest many more projects in Sri Lanka, which the bottom line is, the Chinese influence cannot be ignored, or rather it is not going to fade away. The issue is the Chinese influence or investments and influence is not going to fade away, because no country, whether it is Bangladesh, whether it is Nepal, whether it is Pakistan, this investment is something which, even if it is a costly investment, people are always, tempted to get that investment. So Chinese investment is a reality. India will have to live with this reality. There is no doubt regarding this. And China's economic dominance in this country, in Sri Lanka, will continue. But India also can. India can try our level best. See, but India has the geographical advantage. India has the geographical advantage. India has the cultural advantage. India has, we have the Buddhism, the religious advantage, the religious connection, the cultural connection, even the ethnic connection. So we should take advantage of these, the soft power. And India is also, now when the Port City project came and the Chinese investment, India is also investing. India wants to invest, for example, in the Tringomali port. Tringomali port in east, India has shown interest, and Sri Lanka is very keen that India should invest. So there are many economic projects where we can balance, but the fact of the matter is, we cannot match the Chinese investment, but we have other advantages we should take. Rather than complaining about Sri Lanka moving closer to China, we should try to utilize, see, we have our cricket connection, cricket is a lifeblood of both the countries. We have the cultural, religious, geographic. So, India should be able to utilize this, but unfortunately, many a times we are more in a complaining mode. We have to use our soft power. We should use our soft power. That means soft power meaning then our attractiveness. We should be attractive to the Sri Lankan people through our behavior, through our the culture, our religion, our proximity, and ultimately it should be beneficial for the Sri Lankan community and the Sri Lankan society. That is where we should be focusing rather than complaining. So, we have geopolitical significance because Sri Lanka's position, so please do not forget Sri Lanka's position south of India as a small island has great geopolitical significance. India cannot afford to lose Sri Lanka into the hands of China or anybody. So, we have to be sensitive to that issue. Even Sri Lanka should be sensitive, a bit sensitive, but India being a bigger country, we have more responsibility to make as part of our system. And this Sri Lanka has great defense and security implication, significance. That is why we are cooperating. We helped in defeating LTT, we helped in the Sri Lankan safety and security, no doubt. So, we need to continue. And also another big area is our economic relations. But unfortunately, as far as the economic relations, the bilateral trade is concerned, the bilateral trade between India and Sri Lanka is around $4.5 billion. Out of that, Sri Lanka's export to India is only 500 or 600 million dollars. So, there is a huge trade deficit again in favor of India, a trade deficit which is a concern for Sri Lanka. So, we need collaboration, we have to improve our economic relations. In fact, India, Sri Lanka, the free trade agreement, as far as free trade is concerned, India and Sri Lanka, or India signed one of the first free trade agreement with Sri Lanka, that was in the year 2000 itself. India had one of the first free trade agreements with any other country, that was with Sri Lanka, and it has helped in improving the bilateral trade. But subsequently, after 10 years, in 2010, when the free trade agreement, the provisions were to be extended, Sri Lanka backtracked. They felt that this free trade agreement did not help them. It was more beneficial for India. So, the local protectionism in Sri Lanka resulted in preventing this bilateral free trade agreement from continuing further. So, we need to do something to improve the bilateral trade so that Sri Lanka, it is beneficial for Sri Lanka a bit more, so that they can sign or they can continue. And also, we should be able to improve our relations such a way that we should be able to, or Sri Lanka can help us in containing the Chinese influence in South Asia, in Indian Ocean, and we can or we should be able to. So, right now the bigger issue for India, we should be able to, but unfortunately that is not happening. The biggest concern for India in Sri Lanka, one is the growing influence of China in Sri Lanka, that is one. Number two, another concern is the unresolved Tamil issue even today. The unresolved Tamil issue, we expected them to resolve it, but they are not resolving. Then number three, the free trade agreement which was supposed to be extended or renegotiated, sorry, the free trade agreement has not been extended. So, the concern, the protectionism in Sri Lanka is preventing the expansion of the bilateral trade, and definitely we can say there is an asymmetrical relationship between India and Sri Lanka. Obviously, India is too big and Sri Lanka is too small, an asymmetrical relationship. See, that we cannot do much, because the population wise, the size wise, economy wise, and of course the trade imbalance I already told is a concern, because the what you call the bilateral trade deficit is almost $4 billion, almost $4 billion. That is a big one. Okay, so that these are some of the concerns. So I am just talking about the concerns. There are many areas. One is the growing influence of China in Sri Lanka is a concern for India. Unresolved Tamil issue is a big issue. And I don't think there is any solution with the Rajapakshas in power. They are not least bothered about. They are a big majoritarianism, and the Sinhala chauvinists are in power. So there is no expectation from them in resolving right now. Free trade agreement is not been extended, the protectionism in Sri Lanka, asymmetrical relationship, the trade imbalance are all issues between India and Sri Lanka. And with Rajapakshas coming back to power, whatever improvement we have made in India-Sri Lanka relation between 15 to 19, 2015 to 19, I think we may not be able to improve beyond a point. If at all we are able to maintain it, that will be a big achievement. And Rajapakshas are trying to have a new amendment to the constitution, the 20th amendment, and once again they are trying to concentrate more powers in the hands of the president. See, during Sirisena's time, there was a 19th amendment to the constitution to reduce the powers of the president, because which was accumulated during the previous Rajapaksa government's time. But now once again they are going ahead with reinstating all the powers back to the president. So once again the authoritarianism is coming back to Sri Lanka because of the Rajapaksa. So with the Rajapakshas returning, India-Sri Lanka relations will be once again into, if not into a cold storage, it may not be flourishing under their term. That is what I personally expect. Whatever gains we achieve, if we are able to maintain it, it is a big one. I don't think it is going to go to the next level and all. It is tough time for India in Sri Lanka under the Rajapakshas, because they are cutthroat authoritarian leaders. They are not democratic leaders, and they have no concern for the plight of the Tamil population, their own people, 11% of the community, minority, but they do not want to give respect and they do not want to give the rights to their own people. That is the unfortunate truth in Sri Lanka. The majoritarianism, they want to once again that Sinhala chauvinism is coming up every now and then. They want to show or degrade the Tamils. That is what is going on. So it is very tough time for Tamils. It is very tough time for India-Sri Lanka relation. They have already shown that tilt towards China in the previous government's time. This time they are claiming that they will be balancing it. Let us hope they will balance it. If they had learned a lesson from the previous mistake, that is a good thing, but otherwise it is tough. Rajapakshas coming back to power is not a good sign for India. That is the truth. And if they try to have more relationship with China, we already have a tough time with China. That is why during Rajapaksa's visit to India, he kept quiet about the attack in our LAC, in our Ladakh. He did not comment at all. He avoided it. Even India's relation, the quadrilateral relationship, the alliance, the quadrilateral alliance with India, US, Japan and Australia, he again kept mum. He did not say a word. He did not talk anything about the South China Sea, Indian position. He did not talk about. So that means they are trying to balance it, and in the process of balancing, we can see that their soft corner is with China. So things are not that easy for India because of the Rajapakshas coming back. So that is about the present situation. 20th amendment I may be talking in one of the current affairs classes. I will talk. It is very interesting. I'll talk it as a current affairs discussion subsequently. Okay. So that's about it, and a couple of questions let me just pick up.